Hello everyone and welcome to the Let's Talk More Wrestling podcast, where we're talking about Money in the Bank 2016. I am the host because it's a more episode, and I am Matt Marsander, and with me is the sleepy one, who is the reason why we're a bit late in the day to record this.
I would like you not to refer to me as the sleepy one, but the sleeping beauty.
Or he who is rested.
Well rested and looking damn good while I do it as well, man.
How have you been, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad.
Tired.
It's one of those things where, like, we're recording this a lot earlier in the week. We normally record like our reviews on like a Wednesday, so like we're recording this just a little bit earlier. So I was like, shit, I have to get Money in the Bank watched. And then you had that Game of Thrones episode.
Yeah, that's
and
true. I caught that this morning. I was like, I'm going to watch that, and then we're going to record, and it's going to be great.
So yeah, it's one of those things where like I was like, okay, literally, I just sat down on my couch and literally just watched about like 4 hours of television last night. So it's like I'm pretty knackered, but still, it's all good. It's all good.
But one of them was Thrones, and that's fine.
Yeah,
that was very good.
And the pay-per-view wasn't too bad either. So. But we'll get into that.
Okay, so you watched 4 hours of TV, and I'd go on, so probably about 2.5 of that was good.
Yeah.
2.5 of the 4 hours.
Yeah, which, normally when it comes to watching wrestling stuff, that's a pretty decent ratio to go on. So I'll take that. I really will. So that's okay with me.
Just count your blessings. You didn't watch the pre-show, and neither did I.
We never watched the pre-show. When they put matches up like that, why do you do exactly?
It's when I saw like the little video bits, like, oh, they've got sunburn, and I'm like, oh, really, really, just no. But anyway, I think let's just jump straight into it. This event came from the city of Sleaze, the place where anything can happen, and as like Cole really liked to remind us, the place of the big fight feels. And obviously, we're talking about Las Vegas, the city of sin.
The city of sin. When you said the city of Sleaze, I thought you were going to bash some English county or something there, but oh well. Could have got heel on us.
Like, I know it's bad, and I'm going to judge it. No.
Take that, slough. Yeah.
Anyway. So I didn't watch any of the pre-show. You didn't watch any of the pre-show. A couple of tag team matches that went nowhere. And one of them that made no sense at all. I don't know, why were the Lucha Dragons fighting the Dudley Boys?
If anyone's got an answer to that, send it in on a postcard, because I've got no fucking clue. But
yeah, it just were.
Yeah. Something
reasons.
Yeah.
But we'll kick straight into it. So the show opened up with, as expected, the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE World. Yada, yada, yada.
You're starting to enjoy that a bit too much when you're doing that.
I am a New Day mark. Yeah. I will admit. I am quite the New Day mark. But yes, we had the New Day versus the Club versus Enzo and Cass, and obviously the Vaudevillains. Mm-hmm. I quite enjoyed this match as an opening match.
Yeah,
it was tough at points.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I mean, I asked people's thoughts about this on our Facebook page, and obviously, I thought the match had some good action, but it looks like towards the end, people started losing their place. We had that awkward standoff.
There was a point where I was like, I don't even know who's legal anymore.
Yeah.
I think that it comes with Fatal 4-Way tag matches, though, where it's like, you don't tag your teammate, you can tag anyone. And it's sort of like, I'm pretty sure Gotch is legal and Kofi, but now Big E's pinning, like, Gallows.
Yeah, I think...
where that's going.
I think I heard from a couple of people who've done... who's looked at the event. They looked at the match, and yeah, the end of the match is technically illegal. Like the person I can't remember who got pinned, just off the top of my head, but whoever got pinned wasn't a legal man, so technically the match is void.
Pinned.
So
Kofi did the pin.
Yeah, but whoever he pinned wasn't legal.
Okay, I can't even remember who he pinned.
Yeah, but I mean, there was only that. There was a couple of botches there as well, and like I said, like, yeah, you got to take that all into account. But like, this is a fatal 4-way tag team match. These matches are just so complicated and so hard to.
I think they're
off.
like destined to fail.
Yeah, they really are.
They can be good. There were some good spots at this point where, like, you had Enzo and Cass and the New Day sort of working together to sort of clear the ring of all the heels and that, and it looks good, and they'll stand there and the crowd's going crazy at it. But then that's a promo segment. Like, you do that during a promo, during Raw or something. Like, it's kind of like a cheap pop for just to sort of. It's almost like, crap, we don't even know where we are. Right, hard reset. And then go from there. But yeah, no, it's just, like, I think it's definitely a match type that's set to fail. Yeah.
I mean, it's I know what you mean. It's a bit harder to do a hard reset when you've got 8 people. You know, that's the problem there. And you could tell there was that moment. I think like Big E had I think like Anderson up or something, and then Gallows was just like looking at him for about what looked like an eternity. That was the worst part of the match, because it definitely looked like these guys had lost where they were meant to be, or someone wasn't in their place. But you know what? Like I said, I'm really reluctant to dig on the match too much because of just how difficult it is.
Yeah,
to pull it off. I still had fun with it though, so you know, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say, look, I understand how hard it is.
Oh, I still enjoyed the match, but it's that stipulation where it's like, oh, it's so complicated. It stinks of Teddy Long.
Teddy Long must have fucking loved this match, right?
Like tag team everywhere I look. There's a tag team. Generally, one thing I find really disappointing.
Go on.
This match had less time than Ziggler Corbin.
Really?
The next match, yeah, only by like
shocking.
A minute or so, but it's like 8 people got less time than 2. That's in a feud that's been going on for 3 months and should be dead by now.
I think that's more of an indictment on the Corbin and Ziggler. I think this match went as long as it should do. We may as well get into the Corbin Ziggler.
Well, yeah, it's the next match.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
Yeah.
And Ziggler can't jump off steps.
I thought they, at very least, I think commentary at least made it seem like it was something that was meant to happen. So commentary actually helping and enhancing the match here, which I thought was a bit
That's true.
odd.
I mean, they kind of helped save that moment where Ziggler couldn't jump off the steps and Corbin had to catch him into the deep 6.
Yeah.
And they managed it because they were like, look at the power of him. But it's like, yeah, but he fucked up.
I tell you what's the problem with this match is, towards the end of it, I actually thought that they started picking up a bit. But they spent, I mean, this match got far too long time. You know, the first 5 minutes of this match, dare I say, was really poor. Like, yeah, it was just nothing much happening. There was chances of boring.
There were.
Boring. For these guys that have been wrestling each other for a while, it seemed only for like the last 2 minutes that they kind of figured each other out, that they didn't have any chemistry before that point.
Yeah, I think it's kind of difficult because I think it was actually during this match that I heard a "We Want Bailey" chant.
Really?
Yeah, I heard a few. I'm pretty certain I heard a couple of "We Want Bailey" chants like throughout the night. Like whenever there was dead spots, like they were just like, "We don't want this. We want Bailey."
Just like, well, they might get her soon.
Yeah, it's almost similar to sort of like the CM Punk chant. It's like they're not like, we don't care about this. We're just going to do our own thing.
Yeah, which is, you know,
I mean, to be fair, I don't blame them because I did not enjoy this match at all.
Yeah, it's a bit counterproductive. At least it's a little bit better than the CM Punk thing because at least Bailey is a contracted wrestler for them, right? So it's still buzz for someone. But it's I just think that honestly they were trying to be like the epic final chapter of this rivalry, but it didn't feel that way because it's not an epic rivalry. It's just been ticking along, but. Yeah, I feel bad for them because you could tell they were working hard. It was just it wasn't transferring over to the crowd.
Yeah,
you know, like at certain points.
I think it's probably because it might have been the fact that everyone got the boring chant out because it kind of was a boring match. But it's the fact that this entire rivalry has been dull.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Um,
You could tell it
it
was
has
only put there
nothing.
for Corbin to waste time with. They didn't have a plan for him. They didn't have a plan for Ziggler, so they just mashed them together. But
Yeah.
we've been through that.
But that will take that away. But Corbin won.
Mhm.
And
As he should.
As he should. Yeah. If he didn't, then that would have been
That
that would have been a real moment of just sort of like, fuck the new gen.
Yeah.
But we lead off into there's quite a few tag team matches. Into another tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I like to call the death of the women's revolution.
It's really slowed, hasn't it, since WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Though it seemed like it was chugging along at a nice pace.
And it almost like WrestleMania, I think, was like the peak.
Yeah.
Pinnacle, like women wrestling in WWE is now good. And that's just faded away because we had a 7-minute match of Charlotte and Dana Brooke defeating Natalya and Becky Lynch, and it was cruddy,
yeah,
to say the least.
This was, I tell you what part really annoyed me here is that, fair enough, all the stuff that we said about that tag team match at the start of the show, 8 people going pretty much in 5th gear. It's people are going to get lost, right? I understand it, the degree of difficulty. This is a tag team match. This is just a straight up tag team match.
Yeah, much easier.
It's a lot easier, but they seem to have equally as much trouble pulling it off, which is a bit odd. There was a moment here where like Natalya was like basically she was there for the hot tag, like trying to hot tag Becky Lynch. And she was like there, like all she had to do was literally just reach up and just go bang. But she was treating it as if that was the most hardest thing in the world, shaking her body for about a minute because Charlotte wasn't there to stop her.
Yeah.
And then literally as soon as Charlotte gets there, then she kicks her off and then Natalya goes for the tag. I'm like, that looked so fucking stupid. And that wasn't the only moment here. This match was a bit botchy just overall, right?
Yeah. Like I wouldn't go as far as to refer to it as, like the time where it was just like we'd hit clusterfucks. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's like lay cool sort of era where it's not great, it's not terrible, it's just
it's there.
Yeah, it's just there. It's just that forgetful thing, and I'd quite easily forget about this match.
Oh, it's it was poor. And I think part of the reason is as well, it doesn't help when you've got the crowd chanting, rightly, by the way, chanting, "We want Sasha" right off the gate because she's just not around.
Yeah.
I know I've seen some of the spoilers already, so I know that she is coming back. But it's one of those things where, like,
I haven't seen that spoiler, you dick.
Well, I said she's coming back. I didn't say she's come back, but...
Oh. Okay.
I
knew about that one. I thought you just like spoiled part of Raw for me.
No. I choose my words very finely, man.
Fair enough.
I know by now.
As one spoiler for Raw. I will get onto it at the end.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like this match means nothing. Everyone knows that. It's just them wasting time until Sasha arrives. We've always said that. But it's just wasting time, and if the match isn't good, it isn't good. So there's really no reason for it to be there. And it feels, Matt, to me, like a little bit like they've kind of gone back a little bit. They've, as we said there, they've kind of taken some steps back in this whole Divas Revolution. That they've had a lot of months now where it's just been not really anything really going on.
No, I think it kind of goes back to the fact that it's Dana Brooke.
Yeah, she was getting exposed a bit here, I feel.
We don't like Dana Brooke.
No. Well, I think she's got potential, but I don't think she should be where she is.
Oh, yeah, we've gone on record to have said that numerous times. It's like Dana needs to stay where she is.
Yeah.
Or where she was. This just carries on the trend of the mid-card matches going sour. Apollo Crews and Sheamus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This undercard, right?
This happened. Anyway, Styles versus Cena. I think we kind of need to...
I feel so bad for Cruz because you can tell he means well, but man, is he coming across as anything but exciting?
It's quite dull. It's
Yeah.
it's dangerous for him.
Yeah.
Like he's going to hit a point where it's going to hit like Corbin level, and if like some people believe that this isn't the end of Cruz and Sheamus, and I'm just like, I fucking hope so. Like at least Cruz is getting the right rub because he's going with Sheamus, not Ziggler.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's one of those things here though that like this is like especially with the way that Cruz won, it doesn't. I don't think it like it's like definitive. I don't think it's like
I don't
what
even
a great
remember
marker.
the way Cruz won.
But I think he got like Irish cursed off the top rope, and then in the pinfall, Sheamus was just arguing. So then Cruz just wrapped him up in a pin and pinned him. So it was kind of one of those steel like smash grab victories.
Right. I don't remember.
This isn't the last match Sheamus and Apollo Crews is having, and that's the problem because it already feels like this should be the end of it.
Yeah. It's like they've just kicked off the rivalry with this match, and it's like I don't want this rivalry.
Yeah.
Like you got like Sammy and Owens who are literally like on the precipice sort of thing of sort of becoming. Well, then they're still mid card, I suppose, but they're that upper mid card. They're the one that literally like pull the trigger, and they're in like the main event feuds sort of thing. Yeah. Cruz and Corbin aren't in that place yet. No.
I'm actually worried a little bit for them, and it's not so much like in terms of they've got potential, but it's just that they haven't come in like a horse on fire. They haven't come in like just steaming through.
Yeah,
like they've come in and they've been getting victories, and I don't think Cruz has been beaten. Actually, got beaten by Chris Jericho, but it's one of those things where they haven't come in tearing shit up. They've just been coming in. They've been one of the riffraff. That's kind of the issue, But they
haven't had that opportunity to really just like throw themselves out there and just sort of like just go out balls to the wall. It's just been average matches.
They've debuted, but they never made impact. That was their issue.
That's probably that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah, you look at and I know not every person can debut like this, but look at Brock Lesnar. He came in and just came in the middle of a match and just decimated two guys, just ruined them. That was impact. I'm not saying that you should do that, or or even that's possible, because there's some guys you just don't want to do that to. But they need to find different ways of these guys having real impact. But they're not. They're just kind of coming in.
The thing is, it seems like if you go back to like, there's quite a few times where they've done impactful debuts. Like look at like debut of the Nexus, for example.
Yeah,
like that'll go down as like one of the most memorable Raws.
Yeah,
purely for what happened that night.
That's impact right there.
And that's it. Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, bang, the Nexus are main event story. Done.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, then they ruined them, but we all know where that story goes forward. But the start was perfect. Yeah, and that impact. That's what they're lacking a little bit. Them, if they were to, let's just say, disappear tomorrow, they would not impact anything that's going on in WWE at the moment.
Sort of like, I mean, he ended up losing twice, but like Owens' debut.
Yeah, well, like
even then, prime example.
Some people might argue, well, that isn't impact because it wasn't like a hugely memorable moment. I'd argue a victory over John Cena is pretty impactful. Like a clean victory over John Cena. That's impact. But like these guys just aren't having it, and that part's already gone now. So now you're going to have to do the steady build with them.
Yeah,
hope it can go that way. But it means they're already fighting against the grain from the beginning. But
yeah.
That's where the chips are full.
They're already upstream.
Let's talk about a better match, will we?
That's a much better match. The next match. The second longest match of the night. Mm-hmm. Styles and Cena. Wasn't this great?
This was fun.
This was a very fun match. Every time Cena was like, momentum? No.
Yeah. They told a great story in that match, man.
Yeah. The one that I liked is the fact it even hit a point. You notice Cena's very lazy knuckle shuffle?
Yeah.
It's like, fucking go away.
I tell you what was good about this match, though, is that, like I said, they built that story, and I know it was a little bit corny with Styles going on beforehand. I'm going to wrestle circles around you, but that has a lot more meaning when he actually goes in there, and for a good proportion of the match, he's wrestling circles around him.
Yeah.
Actually doing it. That was a good part of the story here.
That's it. Sort of like seeing, like just almost that moment. He was constantly a momentum killer. So Cena's like, I'm going to go for this. Nope. Oh, shit. Like where he goes for his, like, the start of the 5 moves of doom with the shoulder tackles. He's like, I got one. Oh, I go and get the other one. Yeah. Okay. I got both. Knuckle shuffle. Oh, no, I got head scissored. Crap.
Yeah. There was a cool moment here where he threw Styles up against the steel steps, and Styles just kind of like parkoured over it.
Yeah.
And Cena's like, what the fuck do I do?
No.
And that's one bit here, one thing I don't do often, and I still think the commentary overall on the show was quite poor, mostly because of JBL and his constant sports references. He went a little bit crazy. I thought Cole actually did really well here. He told the story of the match. He was like, every time that Cena tries to get something going, Styles just locks that shit off, right? And he's done something else.
Like he scouted, like he literally just turns it around and just goes, no, your momentum, not happening. Yeah. But no, I really enjoyed this match. I was a bit disappointed with the end, especially when I draw the comparisons between this match and the main event.
Okay, how so?
The referee's been taken down. He should have won. He could have won. And then obviously Styles would have lost. But then it's like, I haven't seen that much of Raw yet. I've only seen like the first half hour or so.
Okay.
But it's the way they're just sort of like, oh yeah, no, the club won't be here. It's not against the club. And the club secure him the win. And I'm like, I get it. It's heels, but I wanted a definitive finish. I know this means we're going to get another Cena Styles match, and I'm good for that.
And we knew that was coming as well.
But, I know, but I didn't like it.
I know, like initially, just because it didn't sit well with me initially, but some fans have gone as far to say that the match itself wasn't that good because of the ending, and I'm like, no, the match is still great, still very, very good.
Yeah.
And Styles is heel. I know we just brought up the whole Kevin Owens thing, but heels don't often get clean victories over John Cena, and they kind of shouldn't, right? Against any face, part of being a heel is bending the rules and playing the landscape and being smarter than a dumb face.
The face, yeah.
And part of me is also a bit shocked. I mean, my prediction here is I thought Cena would win because he's been out for so long. And I thought, okay, we need to... I was thinking from WWE's point of view, okay, give Cena a victory on the way back, remind everyone who he is, sort of thing.
Where I was on the mindset of Cena doesn't need the win.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been there before where Cena doesn't need the win and he wins anyway, right? But that
Cena wins,
that's just really cynical. Yeah. But I honestly still think that it makes the match very good. And I think if you have a clean victory where AJ Styles just beats him flat out, it kind of makes no point in making another match a little bit here. And I know that's what they want to go for. I'm not a big fan of doing a long program like 3 matches,
Cage match.
And maybe at the end, But they've still got to fill time. And the thing is, this match is so good, it makes me wonder how they're going to be able to top it.
Yeah. My only problem as well is Battleground is 5 weeks away. So if they're going to turn this into a program, they've got to fill 5 weeks.
Yeah, and their whole point is that that's not supposed to be the end. It's SummerSlam, I guess, would be the end.
Yeah.
So they've got 5 weeks, and then a stopgap match between them. Then they've got another... that's a long time to fill. I know Cena's good on the mic, but fuck me, part of the reason why this build-up felt so good is because, it was over a portion of 4 weeks where they built it up. And if this had been the only match and it was for number one contendership, this would have been even better, I think. Yeah. But still great, still very good. And I imagine that Cena fucking loved being in there.
I very much enjoyed watching this. And the thing is, I sat up for most of this event, but I made it almost like a personal mission. It's I am going to sit up for this match, and then I will watch the rest tomorrow.
I know WWE were like pushing it into the ground to a point where it got a little bit obnoxious with the dream match stuff. But the fact is that, yeah, I had the same feeling. This is a match I genuinely wanted to see. And if I didn't have to get up at X clock in the morning to get my kids to school, then I probably would have stayed up like yourself to watch it, because I was genuinely invested, in the match. It is a dream match. It's one that we never thought we'd see. WWE just made it a little bit obnoxious, just keep on going about it. It's like, okay, we get it, it's a dream match. You keep referencing it, it's kind of taken away from some of the magic.
Yeah.
But
I like the fact that they would refer to sort of like the way Cena was like, since I've been here, I've won 15 titles, and like Styles has won more in that time. And I like the fact that there was all these references. But yeah, they did get a bit dream match. What do you mean? Dream match. Watch the dream match. You want the dream match. We all want the dream match. This is a dream match.
Yeah, it's WWE. Sometimes when they get onto something that's good, they mollycoddle it and they just fucking strangle it. They love it so
WrestleMania worthy match.
Yeah, they just like, they almost want to call it a legendary match of the year before it's even done.
Yeah,
and that takes away from some of it, But
it's kind of like the problem with like the Rollins Reigns match. This is WrestleMania worthy.
Yeah. Which. I get that, and I know they want to promote it, and good promotion, saying it's basically second WrestleMania. But when you start putting accolades on something that isn't done, it comes across.
You could turn around the next night and say that match was WrestleMania worthy.
Yeah, like if you have Cena come out on like Raw and say that match last night was something special, I'm sure, and the fans would reciprocate that. But when you've got commentary just shouting out as soon as the match is done, match of the year, and all this sort of stuff, it's like, listen, let us sit on it. Like, stop trying to do that. And it was a great match, but WWE get a little bit too heavy on let's pat ourselves on the back, and you must know that we're doing that at the same time. But, still, fantastic match. I think this and another match at the end of the night, I think, has to be up in some sort of conversation for what is match of the year. I'm not sure it'll win, but I think they're close. So.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a lengthy conversation.
It's still, as far as I'm concerned, it's still got to be Nakamura Zayn.
Yeah. In my opinion, that's the same, but matches sometimes they get better as time goes on. You start respecting and appreciating a bit more.
I've gone back and watched Nakamura Zayn already.
Yeah, I think that AJ and Cena might have that in it, where we watch it at the end of the year and we're like, yeah, this is a lot better than I thought even at the time. But obviously we'll have to think of that as time goes on.
So, the reason why this is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is the Money in the Bank ladder match, which we have.
If they didn't have one.
It would be odd, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
So we had Del Rio, Cesaro, Ambrose, Jericho, Owens, and Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Money in the Bank ladder matches go, it was okay.
I thought it was a decent offering.
It was good. I think the trouble is the fact that we get... I feel like I've now been oversaturated on Money in the Bank matches.
Yeah, I got that feeling as well, actually.
Because it's like, oh, look, they're setting up a ladder, and they're bridging the ladder. Oh, what a surprise. The one that I hate is when Del Rio did it, and I'm like, why are you even doing that? You could just climb the ladder. But no, he's got to fuck around and try and build a bridge for no apparent reason.
Yeah. I tell you what might be it as well. I know WrestleMania was a while back, but we already had a big ladder match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one thing that maybe, we're a little bit oversaturated. But
that's probably another thing to throw into that mix, is the fact that we've had, well, both of the past Manias have had big ladder matches. Both of the IC title. Yeah.
Which, and at very least, now that they're not doing the brands, well, now next year we'll have the brand split briefcases, but this year it's only just the one ladder match. It's not nearly as overdone a little bit.
I don't know. I think next year with the brand, I don't think there's going to be specific brand contracts.
It depends on how much WWE wants the brand split to work.
True, but if they're going for the whole the one championship,
Yeah, it's a little bit like when you look at it on that front as well, like with the Royal Rumble, if there's two titles, they choose which one they want to go for, you know? So maybe that's the thing with the Money in the Bank next year, that it's like there's only one briefcase, but you can cash it in for either title if they do split them, which I'm not sure they'll do. Obviously, we'll only know.
I reckon it's probably going to be a case of, like, you win the contract. I think it's going to be like, say... So, like, big spoiler, but if you fucking watched it by now, Ambrose is the champion. And if Ambrose was on Raw as the champion, somebody on Raw will then contend to be like the next in line. But on SmackDown, you'd have a number one contendership match, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, if they work it like that, almost like when they did the Undisputed Championship like that.
Yeah.
I just don't think they'll do that. I'm not entirely sure. It depends on what they want to do. But in terms of this match, though, what I will say is that while there was a lot of moments that we've seen before, there were a couple of grisly moments there where I'm like, oh, that looked like it fucking hurt. Are
you on about the Michinoku driver onto this ladder?
Yeah, that I looked at that and I was like,
I genuinely thought he's busted his back.
Yeah, I thought he'd broken his back. Yeah,
I genuinely thought, like, the look on Zayn's face after he did it is like, he's looking into the eyes of a dead man, isn't he? Like, that's it. He's just killed Owens.
I'm like surprised that Owens was able to continue with the match. That looked awful.
He was on Raw.
Yeah, I know. Like, how is it? Like, how is he not
match on Raw? And I'm like, dude,
you need to go get your spine fixed. Fucking hell. You'd be like Pentagon Jr., you know, getting his doing the whole Bane treatment, you know. But still, I will say though that at least all these guys bumped their punched their bump cards in equal measure. Maybe Owens a little bit more than the rest, but still.
But I was like, it can't be the end. Nobody's gone through a ladder yet. And nobody did go through a ladder.
Excuse me? Yeah. Someone got power bombed into a ladder.
Very true.
But
they didn't go through it. It's not a big ladder match until somebody gets put through a broken ladder.
Fucking hell, what's going on with me? Hay fever.
Are you allergic to this match?
Oh, maybe. I have the worst thing as well. Whenever I sneeze, my whole body hurts. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm good.
Carry on.
Yeah. So Ambrose wins anyway.
Yeah.
Which I thought Owens would, but still.
I thought you had another sneeze coming. You went quiet.
No. I think I'm going to stop it for now.
To be fair, I was up for an Owens win, but yeah, I mean, I think I put the prediction in for an Ambrose win anyway. So,
I tell you what though, Matt. As soon as Ambrose won, did you kind of call the finish of the show?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I was the same. I was like,
100%. But I guess after this, you always need your cool down. You always need your dead match.
Yeah.
You always need the one that's just going to sit in the middle and do nothing.
Which is normally the women's match,
But now, it's not, because that was earlier, and that sucked as well. But now we get to see Rusev carry on his reign of terror as the dominant champ, defeat O'Neil in a physical but boring-ass match.
Yeah. I tell you
what. Although
that
double clothesline, like that double down on the outside, looked quite savage.
Yeah, I imagine it. You can just hear that they hit each other pretty fucking hard. You got two big bodies there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what is weird about this though, Matt, is that if you actually look at the timing here, they were running out of time to finish this in 3 hours, and so I thought, okay, Rusev comes out, 2 minutes, slaps on, accolade, done.
To be fair, I was like that because obviously, like I said, I watched up until I saw the Styles Cena finish, and then we're like, right, I think I'm about 2 hours in. So I'm going to have about an hour to watch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why am I looking at another hour and a half?
Yeah.
What the hell is happening here?
Seems like whenever Reigns is in the main event, they have problems like keeping the show. Like,
I think it's because everyone's like, maybe there's some secret backstage thing that all of the talent is like, just go over time.
Yeah.
Like we're protecting our jobs because nobody wants Reigns as champion. Nobody wants to see Reigns. They want to see us. So if we go for longer, then he'll have less time. And then there's Vince in the back there. It's like, we'll go longer. It's like, crap.
I think it's less of an issue now with the network, obviously. Like they can go overtime if they want, but
the thing is, they're still released on.
Yeah, they still do pay-per-view. Yeah, they still got that. But it's I imagine the majority of people that would have bought it on pay. I probably imagine that the majority of people that would watch the pay-per-view would have done through the network. I very much doubt. I probably even think there's probably not even 5% of people that would have bought it on pay-per-view anymore, because they know by now it's cheaper to get the network.
Yeah,
because it's still like 25 quid over here to buy it.
Yeah, something like that.
So there is that. But with the thing with this though is that like the thing is it was a physical match, but it's one of those things where I never got the feeling that Titus was even close to winning the championship.
No.
So
the thing is, it was that one match was sort of like, well, Rusev's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, it
was almost like WWE just like, hey, here's a chance. Look, pretty blonde, big man.
Yeah,
we're done now.
Yeah. It's one of those things though that like this is clearly the dead spot, right? It was in the middle of 3 big time main event matches.
Yes.
But it's one of those things where if it's a dead slot, that's okay. But the dead slot went on way longer than it should have.
Yeah. Yeah, I can completely agree with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need to stick much longer on it.
No. Otherwise, we'll talk more than the match actually lasted. So.
Yeah, well, it happened, and we'll there's quite a few matches on this card. It's like, well, that happened.
I think apart from the tag match, the entire undercard pretty much sucked.
Yeah, definitely. But it doesn't matter about the undercard. It's all about the top of the card.
It is, yeah.
For the main event. We have Rollins and Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Finally happens, right? They've been trying to get this match out for what seems like years.
That's it. The WrestleMania worthy match.
Mm-hmm.
The trouble is they're trying to play it up like it's a once in a lifetime thing again. That it's WrestleMania worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ruin this. They're the main event of Raw.
What, Reigns and Rollins?
And you know what Saxton says?
Go on.
WrestleMania worthy. It was like, we had it last night.
That's a little bit overdoing it, maybe, but I'll keep my thoughts until I see it. But
I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's Raw, and I haven't watched it yet. But yeah, it's sort of like almost playing it up like it's once in a lifetime and it's WrestleMania worthy. It's like we're having 2 WrestleManias in 2 days. But yeah, I liked this match.
I liked it. I'm actually quite shocked at the general consensus is where it's like, oh, it's all right. I actually thought it was a little bit better than it's all right. I don't think it's as good as Cena and Styles. Yeah, I struggled with this match to begin with, though. And I think it might just be where they were sort of playing up that Rollins... It's not so much that Rollins is out of practice, because they were like, how's the ring rust going to hold up? But JBL constantly was like, this is a battle-hardened Reigns. Like, Rollins has been out for 7 months. Reigns has been defending for 7 months, sort of thing. Yeah.
And they're trying to make it out like in that space of time, Reigns has become a machine.
Yeah.
Has just destroyed people because he manhandled Rollins quite a lot to begin with.
It almost felt a little bit to me at the beginning. It's almost like they were feeling each other out a little bit. Reigns, funnily enough, if they were playing any roles here, Reigns was kind of playing the heel role. And what I mean by that is that he was giving Rollins down the beating earlier on, dominating him at certain periods, and then Rollins was getting the big, fast comebacks at times. Maybe that goes against the psychology of the match. I still enjoyed that, but...
Yeah, but that's what we wanted in the first place. We want a heel Reigns. We want a face Rollins.
I can only imagine what it would have been like if they'd just gone with that and had Reigns as heel and Rollins as face and had maybe not the cash in, but maybe Rollins winning. I think that would have made a lot of people really love this match a lot more. But
well, I don't think it really matters because like whether it's the fact that it's what WWE are giving us, we're still cheering for Rollins and booing Reigns. So he kind of got the face versus heel match anyway.
Yeah, we kind of did, didn't we? Yeah, in a manner of speaking, that's kind of how it panned out.
It doesn't matter. He's still our face.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I quite enjoyed this match. There were some good moments there. But yeah, it goes with that whole sort of like you were saying, like Reigns was playing the big heel. And I enjoyed that. Like, I like that. I like the dominant Reigns.
He's a lot more interesting when he's playing that sort of role.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing I will say as well. Just because of the length of this match, I don't want to hear anyone saying that Roman Reigns is a bad wrestler. I know he's not great. I know he's not AJ or a John Cena or even a Rollins, in my opinion. I don't think he's close to them. But you can't wrestle this long of a match and it be good without being a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand people's thoughts on Reigns. I'm not the biggest fan of what they're doing with him. But when you're seeing him perform in main event matches and holding his own, then I don't want to hear anyone saying that he's a bad wrestler. I think it's the trouble is
the fact that he is a good wrestler, but what he's not is he's not a good technical.
No, nor should he.
He's very, like he's like razor's edge into powerbomb sort of thing. He's not loop-de-loop, tilt-a-whirl, armbar, backbreaker, just to make up fucking words.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he shouldn't be anyway. He should be a scrapper. He should be a fighter.
Yeah, he should be the dominant brawler.
Yeah, because you've got plenty of guys that can do all that sort of stuff. Your entire mid-card is full of them. So,
yeah.
But in terms of the actual match, I enjoyed it maybe a lot more than I think a lot of other people did. I did enjoy it. I thought out of all the main events, this didn't look out of place. I think it was it promised to give us something great, and I think it delivered to a certain extent. So, but I seem like I'm just genuinely a little bit shocked that people seem to be a little bit less on this match.
It seems to be very critical of it.
Maybe it's because it's in contrast to the Cena Styles match, which was absolutely superb.
Well, that's kind of the thing, because we had that again, where it's like the long down, where I think it's like Reigns should have won. But no, we've taken out the referee. Oh, it's like that. We've had that. Like, we had it. Like, the only difference in the finish is the fact that somebody didn't come out and attack Reigns.
Yeah, that Rollins rallied on his own and managed to hit the pedigree, which I thought was still really cool. I honestly didn't think they were going to have Rollins beat him. I mean, still, it's kind of clean because Rollins didn't mean to knock out the referee. It's still a clean victory for Rollins.
Yeah. No, I know.
To beat their golden boy Roman clean, I know their plan, especially as it counteracted. But
you know what? I really enjoyed the spear pedigree.
Yeah, that was quite cool, wasn't it?
That's quite a nice little spot. It's like your face. Kiss Matt.
Yeah. That's one of the cool things with Rollins, though, is that he's able to do that sort of shit. CrossFit Jesus, right? He knows how to do all that stuff. So,
agility.
He does, yeah. He still hasn't got the hang of hitting a devastating pedigree like Triple H does, but that comes in time. I still think it looks okay, but still.
I think it's like I was listening to, like, since his return, he's done a Jericho podcast.
Yeah.
And they were referring to sort of the times where Triple H used to just, like, nope, I'm not releasing your hands, you eat Matt.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably where you're referring to with sort of like the devastating Triple H pedigrees. Because that's kind of what were his most devastating. It's just like, you like the taste of canvas, right?
Yeah, fucking eat it.
Chow down.
Yeah. I think also as well, I think part of the reason why they do a little bit of release is just to help, so they're
not taking the whole impact on the side of their face or forehead.
Yeah, it's one of those moves that if the other guy doesn't fully commit, that it's almost like the Stars Clash. If the other guy doesn't fully commit, then he's getting a broken neck. And but that's just the point of it there. But I still think it's okay. I'm not being a tidbit, but Rollins winning, man, he was cheered like a fucking hero when he won that title.
Of course he was. But you know who else was cheered like a hero? Ambrose when his music hit.
Yeah.
Because he fucking got a cheer. Like, he got the ovation. He got everything. Like, everyone was up for this cash-in.
Mm.
It's almost like, maybe not as close to. I still think it was better. But you remember when Ziggler cashed in?
Yeah, I think that was because that crowd was more in a fever pitch anyway, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the crowd, they're certainly still into it. They fucking loved it. But him banging over Rollins to the back of the head, cashing it in. Here's a stat for you there, Matt, with Ambrose winning the championship and walking out with it. Every member of the Shield was WWE champion at some point in this show.
That night, yeah.
Which is WWE reaping the rewards of booking that team so well that they've got 3 guys who, you know what, that title doesn't look out of place when it's around them, you know? Which...
Do you know the one thing, especially considering at one point I was worried for Ambrose?
Yeah, after Lesnar at WrestleMania, we were like...
Even building up to that, like ever since... Like when it was the Shield, I was sort of like, I was always a bit worried for Rollins, but then when he betrayed and what he did like with the Authority and that lot, and I'm like, I am not worried for Rollins anymore.
Yeah.
And obviously Reigns is their new Cena and they're going to push him to the moon until we're sick of it. Well, and then beyond.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Ambrose was sort of like floating around for a while. And I'm like, oh, I hope not. And now they're just like, no. Trigger, pull it. It's like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I'm glad they did it as well because, you know, this could be the establishment he needs. Because as you say, they gave Rollins almost a year-long title reign. They've clearly got behind Reigns. Ambrose has been one of those guys that he's been, okay, yeah, he's good mid-carder guy, right? Kind of mid-card, sometimes upper when we need him.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's kind of been lost a little bit, just in rivalries, not really doing too much. And you know, he's always been capable, and it's a good moment for him. You know, I'm glad that they did it that way, and I'm glad that they're not doing a thing where it's like, okay, the night afterwards we get the rematch and he loses it. I honestly thought, you know, maybe it's just me being cynical. I thought that might have been a chance.
Okay, well, I spoiled that for you. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. I knew that anyway. They would have been all over the news and people would have been emailing me already if that happened. You know, I would have got comments already raging about it. So I knew it didn't happen. But yeah, the thing is that it's a bit strange with this though, Matt, is that I don't know if this is what they're going for. I'm guessing they have to now. We said that Shield triple threat title match would be a SummerSlam main event. They've got Battleground to get through. Are they going to just do it at Battleground? Which seems very odd to me.
I hope not. Actually, do you know one thing? Now we're mentioning Battleground. I just want to quickly touch on it.
Okay.
Are they not trying to rip off Civil War?
What do you mean?
Did you not see the video package?
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Like right at the end, like the two sides, like the heels and the faces just jumping at each other in fighting poses. Like, oh, God.
They should just one guy just to parody it, just go in full in Bruce Lee with like a flying kick or something, you know, just shits and gigs. But oh well, they'll probably make it be R-Truth or something, and then I'll roll my eyes. But there we are. So what did you think of the pay-per-view overall then?
Some good, some bad.
I think no.
Like some really good and some terrible. I think it's good. I think it's really bizarre the fact that it's almost it's like both extremes of the everything, because it's like there was some terrible stuff on this show.
Yeah, that undercard stank pretty hard.
And then there were some really good bits.
Yeah, I think that. Here's the thing, though. Like, the main events is what you buy an event for. If they perform and they do as well as what you hope they do, then the undercard sucking kind of doesn't taste as nearly as bitter as it should. You know, because the real matches that you're invested in, they performed.
Definitely. The 3 matches that I was really excited for were good.
Yeah. Now, obviously, it would have been better if the undercard had a little bit more for us.
Especially considering they were using the moniker of the greatest Money in the Bank event of all time.
Yeah.
So if they're going with that moniker, surely everyone should be pulling their shit together and sort of going out for the best that they can. Like, I'm not going to turn around and say that, you know, the talent were being lazy about it, because that's probably not, you know, it's not the case. It's just the fact that they're playing it up like it's the greatest Money in the Bank match ever, or event ever, sorry. But it's only because these 3 matches.
Yeah, and it's that undercard still takes up like a good hour and like 15 or hour and a half of the show, right? So that's almost 50% of the show that you have to sit through until you get to that really memorable, really good match.
Yeah.
Really good set of matches. It's I still think though, because of that, because I would much rather take this than an overall mediocre show, because I've got a couple of matches here that I would gladly go back and watch again.
Yeah.
That AJ Cena one being probably the standout one that we'll probably have to talk a little bit more at the end of the year when we are talking about match of the year stuff. But it's I would much rather take this. So I actually think it's a great show. I think that if something's good and something's really, really good, then it's worth sitting through something that's a little bit mediocre and not as good, especially nowadays. So here's the thing though, Matt, on our rating, I struggled with this because I don't want to give this show a watch it over and over and over again, because I do think the undercard needs
because half of it you wouldn't want to watch over and over again.
Yeah, I think that undercard needs to be just a touch more solid. But in the same breath, just saying it's worth a single watch to some of these matches seems like a bit of an insult at the same breath, So I'm a little bit stuck there. I'm not entirely sure what rating I should give this. It's a hugely positive one, but I'm, you know what I mean. I'm a little bit.
I know exactly what you mean. Like I would want to watch, like you said, Cena and Styles again, but I don't want to watch Corbin and Ziggler again.
Yeah. And you have to take one with the other a little bit. So I think I'm gonna. It's a very high watch it once for me, and even then I think that's being a tad harsh, because I just feel like it's very harsh to put that in there, considering you had 3 very good matches.
Yeah, I'd sort of go watch it again. I'll say watch it again, but it's only for specific reasons.
Yeah. Like I said, it's one of those ones where it's kind of hard to put in there, and it's like I know I don't want to put like numbers on it, but this is a solid probably like 8.5 out of 10 pay-per-view, but I don't want to put numbers on it because that's not what we do. We want to say however much you want to watch it. Regardless of that though, guys, if you're wondering over or not, it's 3.5 hours, I don't know if I want to waste my time, it's worth going through.
Yeah.
Getting through, and like I said, and after that first hour and a half, you may be asking yourself, "Wow, this isn't really living up to the snuff here."
It's living up to hype, but it's like, because that's not what the event. That's not what they've been hyping.
Yeah, and as soon as AJ Styles comes out, it's almost like a new event started. Right, it's almost like, okay, Money in the Bank 2016 Part 2 started, and then that was the real event. And everything after that, apart from Rusev, but still, everything after that is just stellar, awesome stuff. But the first half, maybe not so much, but I still think it's probably easily one of the better pay-per-views WWE's done this year.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion. So
I think that's about it.
It is.
Ambrose is currently having an identity crisis.
Go on.
Because last I saw, it was like, so if Rollins was the man and Reigns was the guy, who am I then? I think he's settling with the dude.
The dude.
He was like, it doesn't matter what you call me as long as you call me champion. And I will gladly call him champion.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That's great. Well done. You know what? Like I said, the last thing I'd like to say about this is like, just congrats to Ambrose, right? He's worked hard. And it looked like for a long time that he just wasn't going to be one of those guys that WWE would give time to. But he is, and fair play to the guy. And I'm going to enjoy him running around with that title for a little while.
That's fine. Oh, excuse me. Right. So we should wrap this all up and get ready for watching Raw and the rest of the review that we have to get done.
Yeah.
If you like the show, then don't forget that you can always like and subscribe onto the YouTube. There is always our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Let's Talk Wrestling Podcast.
Yep.
It is. And the Twitter handle
@TalkWrestlePod.
I
love it. I love it.
Yeah. And obviously there's all that other social media jazz, which we've obviously just mentioned. But yeah, if you like the show, then don't forget to share it all about. Any questions obviously will be answered on this coming episode on what could be quite an interesting Monday Night Raw.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
I think it will.
We've got to find out whether Paige has been fired.
Yeah, I still think that's total diva.
Oh, she's in a championship match on Raw. She hasn't been fired.
Yeah, she hasn't been fired. Yeah, she's fine.
But until then, we'll catch you on the weekend.
Catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.